Some cups have some cups you can buy and they'll have a hole in the bottom of them, but if they don't, just put a little place in there where water can drain out a little bit. I like to soak mine in water for about an hour or so. Just pour some water in the bottom of a pan, and the cups start out pretty dry, and then you can just leave them in there and they soak up a good amount of water. Then I just fill them up and set them back in the water and let the soil kind of soak up some moisture. And then you can plant your seeds and you're set. Pack it down a little bit. It ain't got to be like super airtight in there, man. Just put a little bit in there. It ain't gonna take much for them seeds to start. If they get good soil contact and they get a little heat on them, they're gonna sprout. If you can keep them warm for the most part and keep them watered, you don't want to drown them with water. You just want to, when they start drying out, add some to the bottom of your tray. And these pots will actually soak up the moisture, so you don't have to water them from above. You can just kind of pour it within your tray. Ain't a whole lot to it. But I finally got a good little setup here. I got a greenhouse built finally, and this made a lot of difference. Now, if it gets super cold, I've learned I don't have a good heat system in here, so I'm gonna just take my trays inside. Like if it goes down to 40s, you know, below 50, I'm probably gonna take them in the house and store them. But when warmer weather rolls around, that's when I'll start my melons, a lot of my cantaloupe. You know, usually direct sow my beans and peas and stuff. But it's got to get like 80, 90 degrees. We're still months out on that. But my sweet pepper and hot pepper, I've learned it takes them a while to get really established and really growing enough where you can plant them. So I'm starting them like 6 weeks early. And then I'll probably put some tomatoes in a month or so and get them rolling. We still got some cold weather. A lot of times I'll plant two in case one don't come up, and then whichever one looks the best, I'll keep it. But the year I grew these, year before last, I ate a couple of these peppers and they were just out of this world hot. So we're gonna try them again. But these take a long time to get up and establish where in time to plant. I think the year we planted them, it took them about, I'd say 12 weeks, something like that. Apocalypse Scorpion, we see what happens, and when these bad boys start sprouting, we're gonna baby them up, plant them, and have us a crop of some of the world's hottest peppers. So we got the hottest of the hot. Now we're gonna do the best of the best. These are some of the best peppers for frying or cooking or sauteing. You can get them going. They are a treat because they're heavy producers. They're Italian frying pepper, and they're not hot. They're sweet pepper. I poured out a little too many, but all you need is one or two plants in your garden, and you're gonna have some peppers, as many as you want usually, as long as you can keep them picked and tended to. They're pretty disease resistant from what I've seen. They grow good in the heat, as long as you can keep them watered. I stake mine when they get about 6 inches tall out of the ground. I go ahead and stake them up because the bushes get about 3 foot tall. And it won't surprise you after you've grown them. Once you go out there, you'll find that one plant might have 40 or 50 peppers on it. And you can pick them and then a week later have the same amount. They're super good producers. They're not as big as the bell pepper. Like I said, they're about the size of a banana pepper. But man, I believe you'll like them. And we're going to grow us about 6 or 7 of them and probably give a few away and keep a couple. But we're going to go ahead and put them in where they can get going. That's a Jimmy Nardello. Go ahead and soak them in a little bit of water and get them pretty saturated with some good rainwater, fresh water, whatever you got. And go ahead and get them going. But we got a few pepper plants going. I'm gonna let these pots soak some water up. We'll come back out here and probably get a few of these started. Might put a couple of herbs in too. Might as well get a little head start. And to top it off for the day, we're gonna get back inside and after this, but we're gonna start with some marigolds. Some of my favorite plants for the garden. They're good to plant around your tomato plants. They keep pests away. Plus, they're really attractive for bees. And the more bees you got, the better. But we're planting that Jaguar variety today. I just like to put 1 or 2 in there a piece. Usually a pack of seeds. If you buy a pack, they're like this one was $3. You're gonna get enough for about 50 or 60 plants at least. So sometimes it's better to just start your seeds from scratch if you can. Save you a lot of money if it's something you're gonna grow a lot of. And marigolds, I figured the more the merrier. I like having them out in the garden. And we're probably going to go back in here in a minute and chill out the rest of the day. I just want to, get a little bit of a head start. I don't want to jump the gun too much. We still got some winter weather before February's out. In March March could be cold too. We had a blizzard one year in March, so I just want to cover them up a little bit. I add just a touch of potting soil to it, and then every once in a while I'll come back after they're sprouted up and put a little dirt out of the garden on top. If it's a plant that's gonna stay in the peat pot a long time, I might put a little native dirt in there. But one thing about dirt, it'll mold if you got it in certain conditions. So I just use this seed start mix. We're gonna label those, set them aside. We'll go put our seeds back up. These over here. And always label them if you can, even if it's just something simple where you know what it is. Because you will get them mixed up, or at least I do. And but that's our planting for the day. We're gonna get back out here soon in the greenhouse.